So I thought it might be helpful to actually dive into Adobe Express so that you can explore a little bit more of the drawing and then the graphic creation. So I'm going to start with drawing first. So I am logging into new.express.adobe.com. I know it's kind of a mouthful, but if you search for Adobe Express, it should come up also. So the first thing I'm going to show you is drawing. So my kindergartners love doing this, and it's very easy. We call it AD because we have a spot where they log into their computers and it has all the apps that they're able to use. And that's what they type to find it. So it's just a little easier for them to call it that, but it's Adobe Express. There's a couple ways you can get to drawing, but one of the ways that I found is the easiest is for the students to click the purpley plus sign on the left and then scroll down just a little bit and they'll see drawing. So once it opens up, you are given a blank canvas to work with, which is so much fun. Or again, you can draw or create a coloring page and use that. So there are a ton of different brushes to choose from. The rainbow ones are, of course, a fan favorite. And what's really fun is as you change your brush, it will also change the design of the mouse cursor. So to show you that, I'm going to go to my art supplies. And I always tell my students, if it's colored black in the preview on the left side, you can change the color of it. But if it's already colored, you're stuck with that coloring. So they've learned that pretty quickly. So now I have my pastel crayon looking item and the brush is a square. So when I move to maybe a dirty brush, it changes the brush stroke or look to the cursor. So I can do that. One of my favorite ones are the ones that are a little bit more decorative. So the hearts are a fan favorite. Let's make our hearts a little bit different of a color. You can change the colors. You can do custom colors. If you know hex numbers or RGB colors, you can change those. The opacity. I mean, there's really a lot of different possibilities with this. And what's fun is with this heart one, it will actually change some of the shading. So the kids love that little surprise. And of course, the tulips. I know this one says winter tree, but I think it's fun just to have some triangles on there too. So that one's pretty cute. They're always adding new things pretty often, actually. I'm going to go ahead and go to templates and then clear my workspace. And I'm going to generate a paint palette. I feel like that's appropriate. Hopefully I spelled that right. I just thought about that. But we've created ones like the unicorn flying in the sky. I had a dog wearing sunglasses. We've had, just quite a wide variety. I've had students that created some where it was like a monkey wearing an outfit, like an actual outfit. Once you click it, it'll open up and it'll have the new coloring page for you to start drawing on. And what I recently learned, actually, which is really cool, I'm on this quite a bit, so I'm surprised I hadn't figured it out sooner, but students can actually color the lines separately from coloring the inside of the shape. So I will show you that really quick. Let's start with red, and I'm going to use a darker red for this. I am going to work on the lines for this first shape. And you don't have to be exact with it, which is really nice. So I can color, and again, I can color however I want, as messy as I want or as nicely as I want. And then I can have things filled in. So maybe I want this to be together. And again, I'm going to do orange, but a darker version, and color just the lines. Go kind of crazy, because why not? Kindergarten does their best, but coloring in the lines is much, much more challenging than I think sometimes. There is an undo button, so if you make a mistake, you can undo it. I'm just going to go ahead and recolor that one. And I'm just going to go through my little rainbow. I think it's turning out super cute. That doesn't look like the yellow I was looking for, but that's okay. You can also, I'll show you on this next one, you can use a different brush when you're coloring on the lines too. So maybe I want this halftone circle for my green. And I can, look how cool that is. That's a lot cooler than I thought. So, I don't know if I like that. But anyway, so you can really change it and play around with it the best, or as much as you want, or as little as you want. For this one, let's do a pastel. So that one is really nice because it does get darker and more filled in as you color it. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. That's one of my favorites too. I have too many favorite brushes on here, for being honest. I just find a new one that does something cooler than I anticipated. Look at the splatter. And then, oh, I forgot to do the darker one first. Whoops. You know what? That's what the undo button is for. We're going to pretend like my lights did not just turn off. I just messed it up again. That's okay. It's not that serious, but the kids love it. One of their favorite things to do, and I will show you with the next one or with this last one, is they like to zoom all the way in, as much as their little heart desires. And they will zoom in so close. And what's really fun is that the quality, wow, that's a little bit larger than I thought, but the quality is so crisp. And it's just, I just don't know. I mean, I'm a computer teacher, but I just don't understand how they do it. Let me find one that they use often. It's this one, this rainbow. I don't know exactly how to say that word, so I'm not going to try and embarrass myself, but they'll click it. And I mean, just look how cute. Okay. It's just so pretty. So anyway, so they like to zoom in quite often and do that, but I'm going to go ahead and just, whoops, color it in. They like to use this one as like scales on a snake or something, but they get very creative with it. So that's kind of how this one works. I guess I could go ahead and just fill in the rest of it. I'm almost done anyways. Let's find like there we go, like a brown. And now I can click in the palette and actually it will fill it in. It does take a second, but my computer's slow. It's after school, so unfortunately my computer's slowing down, but that's really fun too, is that it will color it in. And then maybe I want to fill in the background. You know what? Let's make a background that's really cute. Let's do a soft round brush, and I'm going to make it more of a sky blue. Whoops. Uh-oh. I turned coloring mode off when I did the fill. You got to watch out for that. It'll get you. All right, so I'm going to make my brush all the way larger, and you can talk about blending the colors. The kids are really good about using this brush to blend and make like the sunset on the beach, and it's beautiful. But that's kind of the coloring page in a nutshell. And then, like I said, you can really do a whole lot with this, but it's so much fun to see what the kids create. Their imagination is just, it's incredible to get a snippet of what they are capable of creating. So that is Adobe Express's coloring pages in a quick little version.